It is so early in the morning for this kind of stuff, but we talked about it last night on 01, and now this morning, here we are. It just blows my mind, right? That there's people out there that want to just demonetize people they don't agree with, okay? Now, we've got plenty of people that we don't like. There's plenty of people that annoy the hoo ha, the hickety wick sack out of us, whatever you want to call it. But to be completely honest with you, this is insane. Did you hear about this? So this is what they're doing now. We got Molly Damon, and she's apparently the co-host to the Star Wars Explained show. Yeah, she's part of the Star Wars Explained crew over there. She's a dark Ray is Bay type, so they're right on in pronouns and bio. So you're dealing with someone with some real acumen here. And she says, I have spoken at length about this in the past, but the only way things get better is if at Team YouTube does something to discourage this kind of content. Until then, it will only get worse. Now, you might be wondering, right? You might be wondering, well, what is it? Well, what is it? You know? And Scooby Douche is here, and Scooby Douche says, it's been insane. You're right. I've been blocked by many of them. Oh, there are many of them. Before we read that, let's jump over and see that. Let's just over and see that. Well, look at this. I'm just going to put it on scroll, and we can just sit here and just look at that. Move it a little faster, I guess. But there it is. They're all taking her image and tagging. There's Geeks and Gamers, but they're all taking their image, her image that she posted there about the complaints, and they're tagging Team YouTube in, and they're just copy and pasting her complaints over and over again. Look at that. No, it's still going. It's going to go for a while, guys. This is what it is. Apparently some news report got involved, but whatever. And there we go. We got that. I think that was about Leslie Jones. But yeah, somebody, I don't know, somebody's blocked or something. There it is again. There it is again. There it is again. There it is again. Is this a targeted harassment campaign, maybe? Is this a targeted harassment campaign? Because golly, it sure feels like a targeted harassment campaign. Wouldn't you say? I mean, just on the surface here. Oh, there's a nice cell phone cover, the Beatles. Isn't that nice? And we're out of it. But that's oh, I'm sure there's more over here in the latest even. But oh, there's us. Hello. Make sure to hit like and subscribe if you're new here. Also, share it out so everybody else knows. I'm just beside myself on this one. You got people still sharing it over here. Amazing. But so what does it say exactly? Let's get into that. Let's get into what exactly this is all about. Now, what you can appreciate is like I doodled this X-wing on a napkin, and then I like scanned it into a computer and traced it into Illustrator so it looks hand drawn, rather than just not doing that. It feels to me like this is a letter you send home to children, right? To parents with their children, for their children to be like, we're watching Star Wars today. Here's a warning about what's in Star Wars, and the parental permission slip is on the back of this sheet. It feels an awful lot like we'd like permission to go over this, but here we go. Dear Team YouTube, last week, actor Amanda Stanberg, they, very important, they, posted candid comments to Instagram about the rampage of bigotry and vitriol that she has received since leading the cast of The Acolyte, the latest addition to the Star Wars universe. Stenberg's experience is not new. In fact, this known tactic was initially provoked by former Breitbart news editor Milo Yiannopoulos, who aggressively targeted Ghostbusters actor. Oh no, not the Ghostbusters actor. Leslie Jones, under the guise of film criticism. Film criticism. No such thing exists. It's not real. After prolonged insults against her Ghostbusters character resulted in harassment against Jones on Twitter, Yiannopoulos claimed Jones was playing the victim. When she called for action against the harassment, the aggressive gaslighting of Jones experienced resulted in Yiannopoulos being banned from Twitter. That's right. tossed out on his butt by old Twitter, right? Where, if you just replied to somebody too often, you got banned. 8 years later, Yiannopoulos' playbook against marginalized actors has burgeoned into a multi-million-dollar business on YouTube, which has been permitted to develop unchecked with the help of YouTube's partner program. This playbook's biggest target? Star Wars. Because, if you're going to go be a bigot and a racist and just hate on people, particularly sexist, you pick Star Wars, right? Star Wars is the thing you're just going to go file all that fictional hatred into, right? That makes perfect sense to me. As fans of the Star Wars franchise, we have tirelessly witnessed a handful of YouTube creators continuously drive prolonged insults and harassment campaigns against marginalized actors and members of our community. Enough is enough. The Star Wars fandom demands that YouTube enforce its community guidelines against prolonged insults and incitement of targeted harassment towards women of color by demonetizing YouTube channels Geeks Plus Gamers, Ryan Kinnell, O.R.C.A Outpost, and Nerdrotic. No one else, though. Just those three. That's okay. No, don't worry about that guy. Ben, don't worry about that guy. Savvy, don't worry about her. Don't worry about Mike. Don't worry about Eric July. But that Geeks and Gamers, O.R.C.A Outpost, and Nerdrotic, those are the three evils. But here are the facts. Okay? Brace yourself. The facts, okay? In 2018, Geeks and Gamers, 396,000 subscribers. I assume they're treating that like a pronoun. I guess that's what they're trying to do. Ooh, spooky! 396,000, spooky! Anyway, encouraged harassment against Vietnamese actor Kelly Marie Tran, leading up to Tran's departure from Instagram due to prolonged harassment. Geeks and Gamers published nearly 15 videos. 15! Oh my gosh. 15 videos, you guys. Can you believe it? That's one more than 14. Like, the legal limit to make fun of Vietnamese actresses is 14 videos, and they went 15. Why'd you do it, Jeremy? Why? Relevant to trans Star Wars episode The Last Jedi character, Rose Tico. The channel claimed that trans character is one of the most hideous characters of all time, the most unlikable character ever, and exists for forced diversity. Many of the comments found in Geeks and Gamers videos can be seen as hateful comments under trans now deleted Instagram posts. Yeah, so the same folks that are friends with Geeks and Gamers, they said awful, mean, terrible things to Kelly Marie Tran. Oh no. People being mean to you on the internet. How horrible. Thankfully, YouTube can fix this. Geeks and Gamers and O.R.C.A Outpost, I got a little ahead of myself. Geeks and Gamers championed O.R.C.A Outpost, 319,000 subscribers. Spooky, 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 spooky. A channel that frequently targets marginalized actors, including Moses Ingram, a Black American cast member in the TV series Kenobi. Today, days before Ingram called out racist backlash against her on Instagram, O.R.C.A Outpost called Ingram a lunatic who can do nothing other than play victim. O.R.C.A Outpost has recently, referred to Ingram's Kenobi character Reva, as dumb and word I can't say on YouTube. Geeks and Gamers and O.R.C.A Outpost frequently co-host the live stream Friday Night Tights on Nerdrotic's channel, 1.1 million subscribers. Like, it's very spooky. Ooh, it's a million. Oh no. Spooky. It's like they're counting numbers of soldiers, right? Like they're taking like the inventory of an enemy army, right? Is that what you're getting out of this? Like with all these numbers, like Mein Fiara, he has 1.1 million subscribers. What are we going to do? Amazing. Where the three channels have made a profitable business, reusing prolonged insults against marginalized actors featured in Star Wars, Captain Marvel, The Lord of the Rings of Power, to name a few. Oh no. Amandala is the current target of this YouTube-based operation. Together, geeks and gamers, O.R.C.A Outpost, and Nerd have led the charge against Amandala even before the release of the Acolyte. Can you believe that? People saying that the poo-poo is bad before they eat the poo-poo. Who on earth? You have to eat the poo-poo in order to know that the poo-poo is bad for you. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So we'll go on here and we'll see. Producing nearly 40 videos relevant to Amandala and the Acolyte since May. Since May. You can produce 40 videos, but not in like May to August, right? May to September, rather. You got to wait till December, all right? You get all your 40 videos out, but it's just too close. You know, it's that law with traffic. We do that rapid acceleration. The police are like, hey, you pulled out of there too quick. You didn't squeal your wheels or nothing, but man, nobody comes around that corner that quick, all right? You were rapid accelerating. You're rapidly accelerating it with your 40 videos in such a short amount of time here, okay? Got to spread that out to December, right? Only all bloated up with your Amandala up here in summertime. Nobody wants summertime bloat. I can't believe this. It's amazing. 40 videos. Oh, no! They wouldn't have survived the Brie Larson thing where people were making hundreds of videos about her a week. But, all right. Relevant to man. These channels have asserted that Amandla is vapid and narcissistic. The adult pretender. Dumb. A half-black bitch. For defending herself against racism. You remember her defense? She was doing her for racists, you know? Anti-racist, you know? Anti-racism, right? That'll stop racism. Just do the anti-racism dance. That's what she was doing, the anti-racism dance. These channels have gaslit Amanda by claiming she's playing the victim card, with O.R.C.A Outpost proclaiming, "You've never been oppressed in your life, you bitch." How horrible, right? To have someone on the internet just tell you you've never been oppressed. By the way, Amanda Stanberg, if you don't know, was Rue, rather. She didn't star in the movie. She was Rue in the movie Hunger Games. So even as a child, like 7 or 8 years old, she was making millions of dollars. I am awestruck by the amount of oppression that having millions of dollars paid to you before you could drive a car. I want some of that oppression. I don't know about you, right? Wouldn't that have been great to have, like, you know, $5-6 million just under your belt before you knew how to count to 11? But whatever. These YouTubers also use racist dog whistles, including angry black woman stereotypes. Rest assured, we don't use angry black woman stereotypes. Ooh, that's dangerous. What are you doing out there, guys? The hate campaign against Amandala has been so profitable that other major YouTubers have joined the attack on Amandala, including Star Wars Theory, 3.3 million subscribers. Spookier, oh no! So Star Wars Theory wasn't complaining about Star Wars until now? Like Amandala Stanberg was the one that was like, all right, that's enough. I hate Star Wars now. I'm pretty sure Theory was kind of critiquing this stuff before Amandala Stenberg was ever, like, even cast or, like, called up for this, before Leslie Headland was brought over even. How many more good faith content creators will turn to profitable hate campaigns if this behavior is permitted to continue with no repercussion? What are we going to do, guys? What are we going to do? No repercussions. Can you believe it? No repercussions. This is awful. This is awful. Got RJ McGreddy here, and he says, this is a lot of butthurt written on copium, or its generic form. I'm playing the victim all the time. Yeah, I'm playing the victim all the time might be right for you. Please consult your psychiatrist, right? If you find that your victim boner lasts more than 6 hours. But we've also got Servius Vero here, Severus rather. Trainees are hados. Yeah, well, there's a lot of science out there. There's a lot of science out there. We've also got Georgina Floyd, the best of us. Georgina Floyd. Nice to see you, Georgina. Thanks for making it. Orange Hat's here. Good morning, Orange Hat. Good morning. Good morning. And we've got Shum. Good morning, Shum. Welcome aboard. Yeah. Rewriting Ripley. Yep, that's another one that's out there making the rounds. Everybody and their brother is on board with this cancellation of these guys. And I just have to wonder, why is it targeted at these three alone? What did, I don't know what you'd call them, like the rat pack of complaining about Star Wars, I guess, What do you want to call them? The guys calling out the mess out there? The Star Wars Crusaders? I'm not sure, but why are these three the focus? Why are these three the focus of all of this? Like, you have Az on there. He's just as subscribed. You have Odin on there. You have Chrissy Mayer on there. And she's very colorful with how she describes the Acolyte and the characters within and what happened in the Acolyte. She's very colorful with how she does that. And that's just naming a few of the voices that get around in all of this. And that's not like, I'm sorry, I've lost his name. Starts with an M. Mahler. Sorry, I get him mixed up with Medicare, and that's not a flattering mix-up. So, Mahler, even, like Mahler, again, not part of this. And he's said some pretty terse things about Disney Star Wars, I'll tell you what. And then they're not mentioning any of the other channels that are down here, like us, Bounding into Comics. We have a whole news website that's been detailing all of this. The news website goes after this. You've got other ones out there, like That Park Place, that do this stuff. You've got Bleeding Fool out there. Not Bleeding Cool, Bleeding Fool out there that does this as well. So why are these guys the central target is what I don't understand. And again, you have to go out and take a look at this, right? Like we went over this just a little bit ago, but this is kind of nuts how many people are jumping into this. Check it out. And again, you got Geeks and Gamers defending themselves here, explaining nah, man, we're just doing YouTube content. This is about Leslie Jones, but watch. Here it comes. Just an endless tidal wave of this. Everybody who has an axe to grind with right-of-center content on YouTube of any form has decided to go after these three guys in particular. You'll note that they're not naming anybody else on this. They're not mentioning anybody else. There's no toxic gamers they want to talk about. There's no Sneeko mixed in here. There's nothing. There's nobody that they don't. Oh, we're already back in 2019. But that's what we're looking at here. You got a nice Beatles phone case. But that's what we're looking at is everybody and their brother has jumped in to get in here. Big, small channel, big, small accounts. You got people that are just simply emoji accounts that are doing this. So what it's trying to show is this massive, I guess, a wave of people. There's a trans flag, so that one's sincere. But you've got all these massive mentions showing up for YouTube, and then they say, yes, we demonetize Geeks and Gamers, RKO Post, and Nerdrotic. We should look into this. We should investigate what's going on with this. And I'm not down for that. I don't know about you. I don't think that it's wise to go around and start saying, this is what you can complain about, and this is what you can complain about for how long. I don't think that's wise. No one involved with the Geeks and Gamers crew, no one involved with Nerdrotic, and no one involved with RK Outpost, Ryan's channel, have done anything to encourage violence. They spoke out against people messaging these people. You'll hear all the time during the Geeks and Gamers Daily. You'll probably hear it a little later on here today. Sorry, I got to plug in my camera. You'll probably hear it later today. Don't contact these people. Don't DM them. Don't reach out, that kind of stuff. They say that all the time because they understand that, people have very intense emotions about this. They have intense reactions. This is nostalgia being dragged through the mud. And so they understand what's going on. They understand that when you speak critically of this stuff, it's important to separate the words from the person. My father told me when I was growing up, he said a very simple thing. He said, "You can't hate a man, but you can hate everything that he does." And I think that's what Geeks and Gamers and RK Outpost and Nerdrotic stick to. They don't want you to go out and hate Amanda Stenberg. They want you to hate what she does because she's doing stupid things. She's doing things to deliberately destroy Star Wars and then dancing on the grave of what she's successfully destroyed. That's what they have a problem with. Not Amanda living, being, breathing, whatever, existing in whatever shape, melaninated or not, she comes in. And that's why it blows my mind about all this stuff is like, why are those guys the central focus in all of this? There are so many other people out there that are wildly, wildly more intense with their criticisms. I don't know. We got one guy that threatened, there's a guy out there that threatened to kill some people over Star Wars. Remember that? That was a long time ago, but that happened. There's way more extreme ideas than being like, haha, you complain too much for being a Nepo baby. Haha, you complain too much for being a multimillionaire girl, multimillionaire young woman. She's 25. You complain too much. That's it. And they added like sentence enhancers. You remember that from SpongeBob? They added sentence enhancers. It's great. It's great stuff. But Biona Rad showing up. Welcome aboard. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what this is all about. It's bizarre to me to target those three alone when there are so many other I don't know, I guess like other personalities that would qualify in what we understand to be the facts of what they wanted to talk about. But they go on and they want to talk more about trying to get back to Molly's profile here. You have to excuse me. There's one man operation in the mornings here. But Molly had some thoughts on what the action required would be, okay? So we're going to find out about what the brain trust over there at Star Wars Explained came up with how to deal with these reprobates. So here it is. The action required. Brace yourselves. Hold on to your butts. If you're at the edge of your seat, just scooch a little bit forward, all right? It's the very edge, the bleeding edge, the galaxy's edge of your seat. Here we go. Star Wars fandom refuses to watch another marginalized actor or fan be singled out by prolonged racist harassment from a handful of YouTubers. Just three, not a handful, just three. Gary's not that fat. A handful of YouTubers as a result of YouTube's inaction, which has transformed hate into a lucrative career path. It is concerning to us that targeting marginalized actors on other social media platforms has historically resulted in platform bans, whereas the same behavior has made provocateurs millionaires on YouTube. This shouldn't be this should be highly concerning to advertisers as well. We understand that YouTube has an important role to play in promoting free speech. However, content uploaded by Geeks and Gamers, R.K. Outpost, and Nerdrotic, nobody else, is not opinion or criticism. And they know this. They know. These people, Molly, she knows this. Star Wars Explained, they know this. See, I have a crystal ball. They have a crystal ball, and they go, ooh, ooh, and then all the racism shows up. It's just like that. It is prolonged, targeted harassment against women of color. No men of color. Women of color. We urge YouTube to enforce its community guidelines and demonetize these channels immediately and permanently. Thank you. May the force be with you. Yeah, that's the kind of psychopaths we're dealing with here. That's the action required. Obliterate these people we don't agree with. That's something that like a Cobra Commander would say, M. Bison would say. That's supervillain talk. Needed to destroy my competitors. See, that's really the root of the problem, is that these three guys stomp all over Star Wars Explains growth, you know? They have the opinion people want to hear on these topics, and Star Wars Explained has the corporate opinion. So they want the homegrown grassroots opinion burnt out, taken away, destroyed, so that their corporate endorsed opinion can grow. Isn't that nice? Isn't that wonderful? Such great things. Brave people, you see. Brave people. Pretty great. It's pretty great to live in a time where people just attack you. But we got RJ McGrady here. He says saying their Star Wars fandom is like saying Justin Trudeau is black, and that's true. That is highly true. Yeah. Especially Amanda Stenberg. I really appreciated that video where she was just on about how like Star Wars was everything all the time ever. And apparently it wasn't for her, but whatever. Who's the majority again? Well, clearly not us. We're an angry minority, DZ3 apparently, but we don't qualify for that kind of minority protection they're talking about because of this. Okay? Because of this. All right? You know, and God forbid UP standing up. God forbid UP standing up because they really hate that. They really hate that. But yeah, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy to sit here and target these three guys and explain these are the only guys that have anything to do with hatred, harassment, or anything like that by our definition. When they're not. At worst, at the absolute worst, you're getting people using expletives to describe their opinions about a woman's actions. Not her right to life, not her right to work, not her right to simply exist in any form that she takes. What they have a problem with and what they make jokes about and what they critique is her behavior towards fans and also the insistence that this acolyte thing is the best thing to ever happen to the fandom because of her involvement. You have to understand the root cause of this stuff, and these people are ignoring it. And here you go. You got Bayon Arad. He says, do you think Kathleen Kennedy is involved in any of this? Now, I don't think she's hands-on. Obviously, I don't think that they're like out here coordinating, I guess, with Star Wars Explained, not Theory, Star Wars Explained, whole different group. So I do believe that Kathleen Kennedy probably has expressed opinions to her underlings that have leaked down to Star Wars Explained, that something needs to be done about these three, okay? Because you got to remember, most Friday Night Tights bring in about 15 to 17,000 live viewers. And then so many more thousands afterwards when the show's over with when people are watching on the replay, okay? And from there, that's just one stream. That's not a video that gets 30,000 views. That's not a video that gets 30,000 views one day and then another video gets 30,000 views again. So you understand how the numbers game works out in these corporate heads as they look at all of this critique and they go, oh no! You know, they see the scale of critique outweighing the scale of the weight of their creation. And that's what the problem is that that's probably what Kathleen Kennedy was talking about, and it just leaked down through her underlings. Because I can't imagine good old Kathy, you know, like, boop, 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 boop. Hey, Star Wars Explained, can you just, like, lead a targeted harassment campaign to obliterate specifically, and nobody else, Geeks and Gamers, Nerdrotic, and O.R.C.A Outpost, please? Could you just, thanks, babe, love ya, have you for lunch next week, bye, click. You know, and that's, do you really think that? I don't think that. I don't think that they did that. But I do believe that people keep talking, right? So there's a guy that is like Kathleen Kennedy's underling, right? You got that person. Then you've got the person that is, you know, boyfriend or girlfriend of that person. Could be another office worker, and they're discussing what's going on. Then it finds its way down to Kathy. From Kathy to Molly. That's where it goes. But not a direct line. Not a direct line. But again, that's why it's those three and nothing else. That's why it's not like a blanket of like anybody who critiques Amandala, anybody who says things like O.R.C.A Outpost, like Nerdrotic, like Geeks and Gamers. They are completely and totally targeted right here on those three alone. No one else is the problem. And in fact, the only other channel they mention is Star Wars Theory because they fear that he's a good boy and he's going to get drug over there with those bad boys. I hate this. I hate it so much. Like, it's Star Wars. There's no reason to play this kind of politics with it. You don't need to demonetize people you don't like. Here's a neat thing that YouTube lets you do. You say, don't recommend channel. So those neat little 3 dots on the side, right? Those little 3 dots next to the title, and it says, don't show this channel to me. I don't show this content. Don't show this channel. You got 2 options. So if you want to keep getting Nerdrotic stuff, but you don't want to hear about Rings of Power, you could just say, don't show that to me, and you'll get other Nerdrotic recommendations. But if you don't want to see the channel at all, just hit that button and you'll never see it again until you seek it out. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? It's almost like YouTube has built-in controls for this, that if you, as a responsible adult, decide that you don't want to be exposed to content that may or may not upset you and either just unsettle you, make you uncomfortable, you could do that. Apparently that's disabled with Star Wars explained, though. Yeah, it is. You're right, RJ McReady. This is nutty ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend talk. It really is. This is the kind of stuff where if I can't have the attention that you're getting, I'm going to make sure that you can't have it either. Congratulations for making it to 1 million, Gary. We're going to burn it right out from under ya. That's their plan. That's their plan. They're going to destroy everything that Gary built because they can. They think they have an axe to grind because that attention they feel would be on them if Gary wasn't there, Jeremy wasn't there, Ryan wasn't there. That attention would be on them. And that's what they think. That's how they go about it.